I have a question for Nima based on what she had said earlier. Why a lot of people are using popular religions to disguise. We know that we are in a world that is very hypocritical, and majority of the people have accepted the very popular religions like Christianity and Islam. If it was in the Middle East and the other parts of the East, you have Hinduism, Buddhism. It's a lot easier there to just come up with whatever you are worshipping and everybody will accept you that way. But here, the major things we see, those two, Islam and Christianity. And because you want to sell your market, as maybe you have product to sell, you're a singer, you're an actor and all of that, it's perceived that you have to belong to one of those religions.
Accepted.
Yes, accepted religion, so to speak, so that you can get your followers from either of the two sides. Now, people who now have those other religions that are not really accepted, that we have demonized and seen as evil, don't come out publicly. There's no confidence to come out and say, I'm an Ifa priestess, for instance, and I am a singer and all of that. We will not accept them. Do you think that is why many people are hiding under the cover of either taking on Islam or taking on Christianity, so that they just please the people, but they go behind and do what they really want to do? And is there a way we can encourage more people to come out truly, like you said, and be who they are?
Okay, so there's a pathway of acceptance that people must learn, or respect, not acceptance. Because, for instance, I don't.
Let me hold you a bit to have a call on the line. I'll come back to you. Stephen is on the line. Good morning, Stephen. Are you there?
I have so many to say at the same time that I'll try to know how to cut it short. Number one, God is not a white man.
Thank you.
Neither the devil is a black man.
Okay.
God is a spirit. The devil is also a spirit.
Thank you.
Do you get it now? So if you get that right, then another thing I wanted to say is that Satan can make you rich as a person. Because if you look at Genesis, in the creation of man, when man fell, Satan had been with God before the creation of man. He knows the length and the breadth of the universe and all of that. Even though if you look at the life of Jesus Christ, he even came to Jesus for tempting. Say, look at the world. He took it to the pinnacle of the temple. He showed the whole beauty, the scenery of the world. That if you can bow to me, I will give it to you. Say, because I will deliver into my hands. If you look at all those trajectory and all of that. But the truth is that God self can make you rich. It does not depend where you are coming from. Are you getting my point now? God is a spirit. What spirit does is that it helps you to help your business to strive. That's how you have done in if you are a diligent person. Spirit helps you to enhance it. That's what spirit does to you as a man. That's what they call grace. It's somebody that that doesn't know how to do something. But by the grace of God, you see the person flourishing. Even though that's why I don't have more education, you see the person striving and all of that. There's something back, there's a force behind all those things. Okay. And those people who use spiritual things to say they are musicians, because music is spiritual. Look at the Bible. When they want to go and fight war, God says send musicians ahead. They will send singers ahead. When they send singers ahead, people die in the war front. Does it really make sense to a natural man? It doesn't make sense. So music are very spiritual. Okay. So people believe in this part of the world that it cannot be successful without backing it on your Bible. People say, I'm Anthony Genie. I'm from those things. I grew up seeing my grandparents sacrifice to idol and all of that, but it never resonated with me until I grew up to the age of accountability. So I read the Quran before, I read the Bible. But what makes Christianity different with other religion is the person of the Holy Spirit. The Bible says the Spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. The purpose of God is for every man to know Him. Okay. Not to another man. That's why He said, don't serve another God.
Okay. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for your thoughts, Stephen. You were explaining something.
I was saying that, for instance, I do not support his belief that success can be attributed to this. As a person of Tawhid, which is the Islamic belief that only God, only Allah should be worshipped, and only Allah should be the source of everything. And untaintedly, that's what I have practiced. Not because I have not seen other people do things, but because that's what I was raised and that's what I practice. So I do not support him. But I understand, and that's why I said I appreciate his coming out to do that. So society will be society, but you are what you believe. And you cannot be a coward with what you believe. Even if your artistry is sort of rooted somewhere, by the time you are branching out, chase your branch out. If you want to be an Ifa or a Christian practicing Fuji music, do it laudably. You know, and the people who are mixing it, they're also testing it. For instance, Kwanwan is Muslim. He has a Salatu group. I've even attended and spoken at one of their Salatu events. But when he was taking his titles, he did all the traditional practices untaintedly.
So he's mixing the two publicly.
So they are mixing it publicly. Coming out is their decision, their fear, and all of that. It doesn't mean that society will not eventually leave them alone if they chest it. So that's the cowardice of the person in question, not society. Because society eventually would align. Imagine the way Ashake was dragged for being a Muslim. I cannot forget, because it was in Ramadan. How can the whole world make his religion the issue?
A problem.
Whereas his artistry, his creativity, his craft are taking him everywhere in the world, rather than focus and leave him alone to live his personal life.
Religion.
They were dragging him as if even I on the table at the beginning of my career here, I would have put the hijab off because that's what they wanted. The calls were coming in on live show asking for my hijab to be taken off, and it did not affect my thought process, which was what I was displaying, what I was hired to display in anyway. Is my point of view to every point that I made, every topic that is given.
Ade is back. Ade from London. Are you there?
Tell me clearly now.
Yes, I think. I want to hear.
All right. Now, what I was saying is that there's one Adeyanju used to interview all the top musicians. So he interviewed Aija Bello. So Aija Bello was not telling him that during his early days in the 80s, he went to play somewhere in Lekki somewhere, and there are big men in the party. But all he collected, it was 150 naira. They didn't spray him. And there are many people there. So he cried to his godfather, who is Barrister. And Barrister said that's not a problem. He said Barrister now send somebody to go and call his affair from Mushi. When they bring the man tells them what to do. He said Barrister was the one that paid for everything. He said the next party will go. He made 30,000. And 7 Mercedes-Benz, brand new, in the 80s was 7,000 to 9,000 naira cash, brand new. So he was contemplating of buying Mercedes. He now give money to his band boy. So it is there I knew that so all this musician won't it's not ordinarily. You see, there's something they do before you stand up and change your money, and dancing and give you this money. So this man Oshupa, he come out plainly. So it's good. Now everybody knows where it belongs. So Alaja, my friend, everybody will criticize anybody. Don't bother yourself. Who will criticize people? How many people will criticize? Even the dead criticize Abacha is dead though. They are still talking about Abacha. So that's the world we are.
Yeah. So just hold on to your beliefs and hold it strong. Thank you so much, Ade from London. Miriam, you know, when people succeed in life, you know, they come here, business moguls, we interview them from time to time, and you hear them say things like, I give all the glory to God. When people are taking awards, you know, even in Nollywood, Hollywood, all of that, you hear them ascribing the success to God. And we don't hear so much of ascribing the success, aside from Oshukwa now that came out to say his own. We don't hear so much of ascribing it to either other religions, or like in Nollywood, Hollywood rather, you hear ascribing to Satan. They do it publicly. They will just say it and people will laugh, but they have said what they have said. If you go online, you see some of those videos when they are doing those awards. And my question to you is, do you think it's just an illusion that if you work hard, you believe in your craft, success will come either way? Or do you think there's usually a force, whether it's from Christianity, it's from Islam, it's from, you know, other African spirituality, that sort of helps you succeed no matter how hardworking you are? There must be a force, spiritual, that helps one succeed or get to the peak of their career, or just put in the work and you see yourself going like that.
Okay, as a Christian, I believe, of course, that God directs everything, but I also believe in principles.
Okay.
That if you apply principles to anything, the principles that work for building wealth, creating wealth, building, nurturing and truthful relationships and friendship, those principles will work for you. But I believe really that we're not on this earth by chance. I believe that someone designed it. And so to that degree, you know, he's designed it and then he's allowed you now, based on the principles, to go and flourish, to go and multiply, go and be, you know, and then you also have free will to either be good or be evil. So that's how I see life. But I would like to go back to, you know, some of the conversations we've been having earlier about you know, people deciding they're one thing but yet they're another. And I would like us to think about it also this way, that whether we like it or not, our culture influences whatever it is that we have decided to believe in. There's a way that we do Christianity in Nigeria or in Africa that when Oyibo people come, they're like, okay. In fact, now it's the rave. They're excited about it because there's that African vibe and we bring it into it. We have some people who, you know, they have a background of Ifa or just traditional African beliefs and spirituality. And there's a way that they would merge Christianity with it. I grew up in the North. There's a lot of the way that we practice Christianity that there's a huge influence of, you know, Northern beliefs, even Islamic way of life. Do you understand? There's, like my grandma, you not go out of her house and you not at least take a veil and cover yourself. You're a Christian, but you not go out without the veil to cover your neck. She's like, you go and be opening your neck for public. But Islam is more Islamic that you cover up, you know. So those are the sort of influences that you see. And that's why for me, Islam is not a scary religion to me. You know, I was very shocked when I first joined this show. And I heard that Nima was having backlash because she wears a veil. I was like, how is it possible? Where I come from, Nima would be seen as, you know, Nima and that she wears would be seen to have more power over everyone else because she is seen as the epitome of how a woman should look and carry herself, you know. So that, I just want us to know that all these things affect our religion and our way of life and how we think. But most importantly, because we have all these influences, what is so important for me is that when it influences you, what does it influence you to do? Who are you? Are you a good person? Are you a kind person? How do you relate with each other? What are your thoughts towards each other? What do you want from, you know, your neighbor? When someone is in trouble, how do you address them? How do you show up for them? When someone is, you know, when things are going wrong for people, how do you show up for those people? When things are going well for you, how do you carry yourself? You know, so I think across all religion, whether indigenous or brought in by colonialists, is that everybody wants that in their afterlife, for those that believe it, that they live a better life. And I don't know, is it a coincidence that most of all these religions still has that thing of the way you act today in this life will determine how you know, your afterlife. Some people believe that for those that believe in reincarnation, they just believe that when you come back as a goat, where they will tie your neck and they'll be beating you, you know, or if you're a good person, you come back as a bird or something and you'll be well, you know, just that sort of thing. In Christianity is that if you do good, at the end of you make heaven where you will live in happiness for the rest of your life. So those, for me, is what is most important. No matter what our religion. Then finally, about just understanding and reading, that changing mindset, like Waiki was saying, whether we like it or not, the Oyinbo man has done so much damage you know, with our own indigenous beliefs. We have to do the work ourselves. Enough of blaming. Now, have you taken the time out to read? Have you taken the time to understand? Have you taken the time to open your mind and hear what the other people are saying? Where it starts to become evil, of course, you can take a step back. Sorry, I said finally. This is the final one. And I remember because Waiki was saying something about, you know, the religion. So my great-grandmother grew up in a missionary home. She was kidnapped and the missionaries saved her and they raised her in the missionary home. And everything that she knew was good was from the Christians. Do you understand? So for her, Christianity meant good. Her traditional religion meant fear and attack and whatever it was. So that is why she accepted that. And for many people, it's okay, in our village, they used to kill twins, but when the Christians came, they don't kill us anymore. So you see what I say? It's really about how we behave. So even for our traditional religion, we need to read more about it and hear about the good that they did. Because whether we like it or not, as of today, many of us, all we've heard is, Babalawo now took this girl's picture, put it in the cup, tied her up. Now, all her life, everything is destroyed. This family, they used to be good. Then when this girl came with her juju, and you know, so that's what we hear. We need to tell different stories. We need to see people who live this new, who live this traditional religion. Let's see in their life and their lifestyle and their relationships how positive it is, and people will be drawn to that.
I like how you have sort of wrapped the conversation up, because sometimes we take away focus from what is most important. Or across all religion, what thing I know that they preach is love. Whether it's Ifa, is Islam, is Christianity, is Hindu, and all of that, is love. Love for yourself and love for mankind. But we take out that love. We forget it when we are analyzing you are doing evil and you are doing bad. We need to focus on what it preaches, which is love. And acceptance. We need to also learn to accept other people the way they are, and not necessarily trying to, convince them that this is better and that is not better. If I see your life and I'm inspired by your life, I may ask you, YK, I like the way you are. I like there's this love around you. What are you doing? I could ask you. You don't necessarily have to preach to me or try to convert me, right? In the real sense of it. So if we focus on that love that we have, many of these things will not be an issue, so to speak. And for those who are using the good aspects of religion, spirituality to do evil, that is where we now need to start calling them out and calling it what it is, so that we can differentiate all of these things. I think we've practically sorted almost everything.
I think one thing I need to say here is we need to respect each other and each other's beliefs.
Yeah, very
because
important.
Because a lot of times people do not respect people's beliefs.
Yeah.
And that's what causes a lot of chaos and bad blood. And
I'm superior to you, you are inferior to me.
I mean, I respect Nima. I like her, In fact, I don't even like her. I love her, So, and
so if you have opposite sides.
Yes.
Religious
Do you
beliefs,
understand?
yes.
Respecting the thought is a Christian.
And she respects my own, even though she knows I'm always telling her she's colonial.
She calls me all that all the time.
But why do you connect? Because of who she is as a person.
Exactly.
And who you are.
Exactly. Because I can be a Christian and be the most evil, person.
We see them. Yes.
There are many.
Yeah.
There are many.
Yeah, we see them.
I can even be a juju man, and I'm the most evil juju man because I've taken your hair.
No, you can't see my hair. It's covered with wig.
My hair is very nice, just to say.
You've taken the strand of the
this
wig.
morning. It was so long and beautiful. I don't know what's wrong with that. But that's not part of the topic today.
We have to go, YK. But I've heard it's just more about love and acceptance. And like Miriam rightly said, being a good human being wherever you find yourself. That's all we can take on this topic. When we come back, move on to the next topic. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View.